Trendhunter.com.
Trendhunter.com.
Trendhunter.com. Find
Here he is, much talked about this morning, trend hunter Jeremy Gutsche.
Trend hunter Jeremy Gutsche.
Chief Trend Hunter Jeremy Gutsche.
Trend spotting expert for CNN, BNN, and MTV.
Author of Exploiting Chaos.
Exploiting Chaos, 150 ways to spark innovation during times of change.
They call him the Trend Hunter.
Trend Hunter.
Trendhunter.com.
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 Trendhunter.com. Find out what's cool before it's cool. Jeremy Gutsche.
Jeremy, ready? Thank you, Jeremy.
I'm excited right now. I'm in Pakistan for the very first time, and today I'm going to be touring the city for the first time, so I'll be really excited.
So how is Pakistan treating you so far?
Well, you know, I've only really had the evening. I landed late at night, and people were very friendly so far, and it was really neat to see the roads and all the buses that are all decorated and the cars driving in a manner that's very different than North America.
Okay, so let's start with the overall thing. Can you start by telling us a little about your early career path or your background towards
Sure. So I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. All my life I wanted to run my own business, but I didn't really know what it should be. And everything I did was to try and test being an entrepreneur or try and get my idea. So in university I was running a 12-person painting business that I started, and then I studied business in my undergrad, and then I went on to become a management consultant so that I could look at different businesses. And it was always just trying to get myself an idea, and I never had it. Then I started working as Capital One, which is a bank there. I was their head of innovation, and I started running one of their business lines, marketing their different products. And the whole thing for me was just to try and test business ideas and come up with mine, but I still hadn't found it. So I started Trend Hunter as a place where people could come together to share their business ideas, and I hoped that along the way I would get inspiration for my own. But as Trend Hunter started to get a lot more momentum, I realized I didn't have to pick, and I now get to do Trend Hunter full time. And the goal we keep is still along the same lines. How do you help people get inspiration for their marketing campaign or entrepreneurs for their new products? And that's really what pushes us each day.
Because okay, my next question was, what inspired you to start Trend Hunter?
Oh, so it ties in really nicely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess the only other extra part I'd put is that what inspires us today continues to be that same mission of trying to make a place where people can come for new ideas.
Okay, dwelling more elaborately into Trend Hunter, tell us about Trend Hunter. What exactly is it? What does it do for people, and how does it help people out, as you mentioned before?
Sure. So Trendhunter.com is the world's largest collection of cutting-edge trends, and what that really means is that we crowdsource ideas from 50,000 contributors around the world, and when they find something interesting in pop culture, design, marketing, innovation, they'll submit those as ideas and articles to their Trend Hunter portfolio. Our editors pick the best articles and put them on the front page. And every day we publish about 100 different new articles. Now that's why we're crowdsourced, which means we get a lot of ideas. But the other way of looking at it from a marketer's perspective is that we're also crowd filtered. So with about 40 million views a month, we're able to see what are the patterns, what are some of the trends that start happening within these little ideas that we've published, and that's what we publish on Trend Hunter Pro, which is a much different side. And in Trend Hunter Pro, we package these professional trends and sell them to companies like Google, Microsoft, Pepsi, who are looking for that cutting-edge idea.
Great. Okay, can you tell us about some major trends that you have successfully hunted through Trend Hunter and turned into successful business ventures?
Yeah, so I think one of the most promising ideas that we've seen over the last few years was that during the recession we started seeing the rise in, let's say even dialing back to 2007, we started seeing the rise in do-it-yourself, and we were even calling it credit crunch couture, but people, instead of buying products that were the most famous brands, started looking at what are the next best alternatives, what could they make themselves? And that caused a change in the economy, even before the economy really started to hit the ground. And then during the economy collapse, what we started to see is something we call next besting, where people, instead of looking for that favorite item or their brand that was their favorite product, they started looking for the next best alternative. And that might mean that they were reevaluating who their phone provider was. They might have been moving their homes to something more affordable. They weren't as focused on the same fashion brands, different vehicles, everything. And that actually trickled through not just in business to consumer marketing, but also in business to business. Because what happened is that people became obsessed with the idea of change and more comfortable with changing providers in so many ways. And that's a pretty inspiring trend. And I guess you're also asking, what types of businesses come from that. An interesting point with that idea is that if you actually even go back into past recessions throughout all of time, that same trend has popped up each time. And so then if you look at these time periods of recession, you can see companies like Disney, Microsoft, eBay, Apple, Fortune, General Electric were all founded during these periods of economic downturn.
In your view, truly defines an innovative idea?
So we like to say that there's three things that make an idea break through. And so the first is that the idea needs to be simple. The second is that it's something that, we use the word direct, but the way you describe it, it's not something that is just a descriptive new idea. It has a value proposition, something that's interesting or captivating. And the last thing is it's supercharged, which for us means it has to pass the I have to tell someone test. So you'd see something like this, be cutting edge, unique, and you'd have to tell someone. And that's the real breakthrough idea, is the one you want to talk about.
Truly. Would you say innovation is a gift, or is it something that can be taught and developed?
Yeah, so I think that people can be creative, and what happens actually is that some of the most creative people find themselves in jobs where you go and it's the same day-to-day routine, and you have to do the same thing you did the day before. So there's definitely some people have more, let's say, creative aptitude, but the environment, the culture that you create is one of the greatest determinants in how innovative you are as a company. So when I, in my book, Exploiting Chaos, and also in my seminars, what I talk about when it comes to innovation tends to be a lot about culture. Because at the end of the day, that culture is more powerful than your strategy itself.
Absolutely. You have successfully hunted innovative trends and ideas all over the globe, if I'm not wrong. Has Pakistan produced any such innovative trends in your view? What captured you to focus towards Pakistan?
Yeah, well, I mean, Pakistan is the 6th most populated country in the world, so at the end of the day, you've got a lot of people, a lot of culture, and as a result, there's a lot of innovation that comes from Pakistan. So the way our site actually works, we crowdsource ideas from all over the world, so anyone could contribute, and there's certainly a lot of trends from Pakistan or Middle East that make it in.
Okay, so do you plan to engage Trend Hunter in Pakistan in the future?
Well, we like to think of ourselves as global, so even though Trend Hunter is based in Canada, you won't actually see that in many places on the website. So we really like to try and take that global focus and represent as many countries as possible.
Alright, can you tell us something about the upcoming workshop, Unlock the Cool? There is a lot of hype about it in all brand circles, in all media circles. Everyone's waiting for it, so what is it all about?
So what we're going to do is first we're going to talk about how to create a culture of innovation and really identify these new trends and opportunities. Then in the next part of the session we're going to get into infectious marketing, and this is much different than traditional marketing. This is everything we've learned at Trend Hunter from studying what types of ideas break through all the noise. And this is something that's interesting because it's about infectious communication, which is different than traditional marketing. And by applying that to your products and the way you pitch your ideas, you can become more cool, let's say. Then in the actual workshop, what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the process where people will have to sort of reinvent their brands and think about how to pitch their products or ideas for the year 2020. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm excited for it.